Hello everyone, this is Logan59XP here for another episode of the Nin-Cast here on May 4th of 2022, and today I am here to talk about the newest and just concluded Marvel series, that of course being Moon Knight. So for context, I know nothing about Moon Knight, so everything I'm about to talk about with this character is completely from what is in this series. I have not read the comics, I've not seen anything else. Everything and anything I know about this character is from this series in particular, so I'm going to be judging this series and this character based on this series' interpretation of the character, just to clarify for anyone out there. So, Moon Knight. This is a series I know a lot of people have been waiting for. People have wanted a Moon Knight series for years. I remember Captain Midnight made a video years ago talking about what he would want to see in like a Marvel, like a Netflix series for Moon Knight. So, people have wanted a Moon Knight series or just Moon Knight in the MCU for a long time now. And it's finally here. And again, I can't really judge this series on how good of a Moon Knight show it is, because I don't know anything about Moon Knight outside of this show. But, as someone that does not know anything about Moon Knight outside of this show, is this show good? I would say, by and large, yes. In fact, I think it's one of the better Disney Plus series so far. Now, in my Hawkeye video, I think I ranked all of the Disney Plus shows so far. And at the very top, I still think is WandaVision, because the hype and speculation surrounding WandaVision is an experience that will never be replicated, and that alone puts that series at the top for me. Plus, it was just very unique with like the way it was handled with like the TV aspect and stuff. That's something that's not in any of the other series. So, while I haven't gone back and rewatched it, as of this moment, I'm still gonna put WandaVision at the top. Then after that, I would probably put Loki in second. Then Falcon and Winter Soldier in third. What If in fourth, if we count What If. What If is kind of its own thing, but I'll go and include What If. And then in fifth, we have Hawkeye at the bottom. Hawkeye, it's not bad, but it's pretty skippable. There's nothing in it that makes it a required viewing at all, unless you really want to see the Kingpin again. And even then, the Kingpin's appearance in Hawkeye was somewhat divisive anyway, so... But we're gonna get Kingpin in like the future Echo series or whatever, and there's a rumored rumored Daredevil reboot coming or whatever. But anyways, that's a different topic for another day. Point is, so where would I put Moon Knight? I think Moon Knight is probably, I'm gonna say Moon Knight is probably around Loki levels. Loki might be a hair better, but that just might be my bias because it's Loki and it's a character I know and recognize. But, yeah, it's definitely one of the better series. It's by no means bad. Is it amazing? No. But it's pretty solid for the most part. With the best episode definitely being episode 5. Episode 5, I believe. Yeah, it's episode 5, right? I think it's episode 5. Yeah, I think it's episode 5. Yeah, episode 5 was something. That was like a very different... That was not at all... Episode 5 was very, very interesting. It's definitely the best one. Like, everyone on the planet has said it. But yeah, Oscar Isaac, props to you on a delivery in that episode. So yeah, that was that's definitely the best one. We're here to, of course, I just watched the finale, and we'll talk about that. Normally for these Disney Plus series, I kind of go in order through the episodes and give my thoughts on them, or like the general story. I'm not going to do that this time, because I don't have a ton to say. I know I probably say that all the time, but with this one, because it's a character that I don't know. Like, all the previous series were on characters I already knew, so I had more to say about it. But since this is a new character, there's not as much to say about it for me. But, so yeah, actually, just for the heck of it, let's go at least do a brief... So let's go through, I guess, each of the episodes briefly. So, the first episode is all about Stephen Grant. And this is a character I've seen is somewhat divisive. I know I've seen a lot of people that like Steve, and I've seen a lot of people that don't like Steve. I personally like him. I can see why people wouldn't like him. I've seen a lot of people claim that he's annoying, gets in the way. I can totally 100% see why people wouldn't like him. I can see why people would find him annoying. I personally don't, and I think his back and forth, like the dynamic between him and Mark, is really, really good. So I don't have any problems with him, especially once like he gets teamed up with Mark later. But if you were just coming off of that initial first episode, that's literally just Steve. There's not even a whiff of Mark in that first episode. I can understand why people would think that. But yeah, what do I think about the first episode? The first episode's all right. Again, it's mainly about Steve just kind of living his life in the, he's working at the museum and stuff, and then bad things start to happen, and it's not great. His life ain't great. That's the one thing that's been clearly established, and that weird things are happening to him. This also becomes a thing, I believe, in the second episode. That whole thing where all of a sudden he'll lose consciousness, and then all of a sudden, woo, and then he has like a bloody hand from a fight or something. Oh yeah, by the way, that's something about this series that I found that makes it very unique compared to the other MCU stuff, just period, shows or otherwise. Is this series now Kevin Feige talked about before it came out how this was going to be pushing PG-13 to its limits, and that it was going to be more pushing the envelope in regards to what they could show on screen. And you can definitely tell, even from that first episode where all of a sudden, Steve, I believe this is the first episode. Apologies if I'm getting this wrong. I believe this is the first episode. This might be the second one, but I believe it's the first. The first episode where, again, at some point, he loses consciousness, and all of a sudden he wakes up with a bloodied hand in that town or whatever, and everyone freaks out. Even that alone shows you, okay, that's more blood than we have ever seen in the entirety of the MCU up until this point. At least at once. That showed me, okay, so Kevin Feige wasn't lying when he said that they were pushing the envelope more. Now, it's no Daredevil, it's no shoving Kingpin's head with the car door. It's not that, or that one scene from season 3 or whatever. I haven't seen Daredevil, by the way. I know. It's on Disney Plus now, so the whole it's on Netflix thing doesn't matter anymore because it's on Disney Plus. I can literally watch it. It's right there. I know I need to watch it. Literally everyone loves it, and he's back in the MCU proper with No Way Home and the rumored Daredevil reboot or whatever. But But point is, yeah, they definitely up the blood levels and the just general gore-ish levels. They definitely up it up. Again, it's nothing super crazy, but it's definitely the most we've ever seen from the MCU, and that's pretty neat. But yeah, the first episode overall, it's decent. Not great, not bad. I would say the first episode is decent. The second episode is when we start to get here. This is where Grant starts to come into the picture, and we meet Layla, who of course is Mark's wife and whatnot. And this episode I actually don't remember that much about, which is kind of funny. So that's awkward. So we'll just skip over episode 2. Apologies, I just don't remember much about episode 2. Other than we get to see more of Mark, and we get to see more of Layla, I believe is her name. That's about all I remember from episode 2. Episode 3! Episode 3. Oh yeah, we've completely forgotten to talk about... I don't remember what the guy's name is. The main, villain of the series, or whatever. Or the antagonist. I don't remember the name. I don't remember his name, but Ethan Hawke's character. Because I don't remember the name of the actual character, so I'll just say Ethan Hawke. Now, I haven't seen Ethan Hawke in anything else, but I know people have praised him, and I think he does a good job in this series. You can tell that he's trying. I don't know. That might not sound like the highest praise ever, but I can tell that okay, whoever's playing this character definitely knows what they're doing. Again, I don't know. This is the most base level way of me trying to talk about something like this. I know, but you're just gonna have to work with it. But yeah, Ethan Hawke does a pretty decent job with the character. So episode 3, I believe this is the one where is this the one where they go into the tomb? That's episode 4. Okay, episode 3. Okay, you want to know what the coolest part about episode 3 is? This is probably this might be my even though episode 5 is the best episode, episode 3 has my favorite moment in the series. That series near the end where we get to see, where like they're in the desert, right? They're in the desert, and it's at night, and they're trying to like figure out like that map or whatever, like the map they're trying to like figure out, like the constellations or whatever. And then we get to that part where Khonshu, who is like, you know, the god spirit, that makes Mark Moon Knight, we get that cool scene. That was actually probably the best. That was like really cool. Definitely the most interesting like scene. Again, episode 5 is better, but this is the coolest probably scene I think in the entire show, and that is the scene where Khonshu like turns back time like 2,000 years or whatever, so they could see where the constellation was 2,000 years ago. That scene was really neat. I thought that was really well done. Like, that was definitely the coolest part of the entire show for me. So, yeah, big props to that scene right there. Definitely the best, in my opinion, like, my favorite part of the entire series, definitely, without question. Even though, again, episode 5 as a whole is definitely the much better episode, I definitely think that episode 3 has the best moment, which is that really cool, like, going back in time, 2,000 years bit in the desert. That's really cool. I guess that's all I really gotta say about episode 3 is like that one moment is really cool. Episode 4, we're going. I don't have that much to say about all this, to be honest, because it's a newer character, so I don't know that much about him, and because of that, I don't have much to say about them. So apologies if this one's not 40 minutes like all the other ones have been. Episode 4. This is the one where they go into the tomb, and this is the part where something that obviously wasn't going to actually happens. That's the part at the very end where Mark gets shot. And of course, they play it up as this big dramatic thing, and of course I'm sitting there like, yeah, right, he's totally dead. I will admit, though, they do it in a much more blatant fashion than like any, like, again, this goes in line with the whole, this series is more like pushing the envelope compared to the others. Like they like when Ethan Hawke's character shoots Mark, it's like, whoa, they actually showed it, and it felt like impactful. Like, I don't know, it's weird. It like that's the most blatant shooting of a character I think I've seen in the entire MCU so far. Like, Jesus. And then of course, and then they go. Okay. Episode 4 has that really weird ending. Yeah, episode 4 has the weirdest ending of the entire series, where after Mark gets shot and dies, it just transitions to this like white hospital, and it's the most like, and the entire time I was watching that like last 5 minutes of the episode, I was just like, what the hell is this? I have no idea what's going on. Then it ends with the hippo, and it's like, okay, what the hell is going on? Episode 5. I've already talked about how. Actually, did I talk about it already? I've done a couple of. Okay, for context, I've actually recorded this a couple of times, and I've re-recorded this, so I might have already talked about this in the previous recording, but episode 5 is definitely the best episode. I already mentioned that a couple times, but yeah. This is the episode where we get to go into like the afterlife, the Egyptian afterlife of like the sand and the boat. And it's just a really, and then we get to see the backstory of why Steven is a thing. I haven't talked about Steven that much, other than saying that I do like him for what he is. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about the outfit yet. Oh yeah, the whole thing where like Steven gets like the suit. He gets like the tux. He gets like the suit. I think that's pretty neat. Obviously, Mark Spector gets like the proper Moon Knight outfit. But I do like the suit, the tuxedo suit like outfit for a Moon Knight that Steven gets. I think that's kind of neat. And I do think fits his character perfectly. Like, it fits Steven's character pretty well. Yeah, episode 5 though, like the biggest revelation of all the stuff in the afterlife with the river and like the and all that stuff is neat, or the sands or whatever. Like all of that, all of the afterlife stuff is cool, but the big revelation of episode 5, and the thing about that makes it stand out, is definitely like the backstory of like, why is Steven a thing? Why are Mark and Steven like two people that are like the same person? Like, why is that a thing? And again, it's coming from someone that does not know anything about these characters outside of this show. So to me, this was a new revelation. And then we find out that Mark, as a kid, accidentally let his brother drown, and because of that, his mother resented him like crazy. Like, his mother just was absolutely, completely and devastated from his brother dying. And of course, you'd expect that, but no, she is like really pissed. Like, she is like super pissed at Mark. And it's like, man, Jesus Christ. It really does make you show, like, dang. And they do it really well. Like, the acting from, like, the mother and everything. Like, it's all done really, really well. And again, Oscar Isaac, fantastic performance in that episode. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that episode was brutal. Not brutal as in, like, gore or anything, even though we've talked about that before. But, like, just, like, Jesus Christ. Like... Like, the kind of, like, what his mother did to him, like, Jesus, like, and, like, that whole thing was just, like, man, like, it really does work very well. Again, episode 5, absolutely amazing, fantastic episode, best part of the entire series by far. And we find out that Steven was created because Mark couldn't face his mom. He didn't want to face her after all that happened. And so he, like, created Steven as, like, a front or something. At least I think that's what it was. And it's, like, that's very interesting. And then, it's like, man. I know I'm skimming over a lot right now. There's a lot of stuff in the series I'm skimming over. I'm just talking about the parts that interested me the most. So apologies if I'm skipping over a lot. But yeah, episode 5, though. Episode 5, like, friggin' one of the best... Not only the best episode of Moon Knight, but one of the best episodes of Disney Plus MCU so far. Definitely one of the best episodes in the entire Disney Plus lineup of MCU shows so far. Now that leaves us at episode 6, the finale that just came out today. And I know there was a lot of people that were like, how are they going to top episode 5? How are they going to end on a conclusion that is worthy of the episode we just got? And I don't know what the general consensus on it is yet, but my opinion on the final episode, it's good, or it's pretty decent. Like, it's not, it ends kind of how you'd expect. Like, obviously we're gonna have the big final battle. It's like the thing that people criticize the WandaVision ending for. WandaVision was very interesting and neat and unique, and then we get the final episode of WandaVision and it's just glorified third act battle or whatever. Like, it's like that's pretty much what they did for this episode, to be fair. It's pretty much the WandaVision episode 9 thing, episode 9 thing all over again, where it's basically the obligatory final battle. I mean, of course it's going to be the final battle, but like, yeah. I mean, it's neat. Nothing super crazy, of course. But okay, here's what I will say: the final battle of Moon Knight is definitely better than the final battle of WandaVision, because it's not just lasers being shot. Like between like Agatha and Wanda, it was basically just lasers shooting. Ooh, how special. But in Moon Knight, we get all that neat choreography from Moon Knight, and also I'm sure there's a name for like this actual character, but like Layla becomes like, briefly at least, like she gets like an outfit, and she basically, again, I don't know what the name of this character actually is, but she basically becomes Egyptian Falcon. Like, and that's the best way I could describe her, is that Layla becomes Egyptian Falcon. And I mean, she pulls off some pretty cool moves. Her outfit looks neat. So cool. It's only temporary, although we'll probably see more of it in the future. But like the power does get taken away at the end of the episode. But you see, I guess I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting Layla to all of a sudden get like I wasn't expecting Layla to turn into Egyptian Falcon for a second. But you know what? It worked. it worked. So I'm not complaining. Then of course, so we get to see more stuff. There was this really neat shot, I believe it was actually Steven that did this like really neat thing with like nunchucks. I think like there was like a little segment where like Mark was like I think it was Steven that was beating up a bunch of like bad guys with the nunchucks, and it was like actually pretty decent. Like it was actually kind of cool. I know a lot of people kind of criticize the Marvel choreography for being very like by the books, and I would say in a decent amount of the series it is kind of like that, but I think the final battle actually has some pretty neat, definitely has some pretty decent choreography, even though I'm by no means like a judge on that kind of stuff, but I can definitely tell it's a step up above the usual Marvel fare, so that's pretty neat. And again, the stuff, so yeah, the way Moon Knight and Egyptian Falcon, as I'm just gonna call her because that's basically what she is. I'm sure there's a name for that character, but I'm just gonna say Egyptian Falcon because that's basically what she was. See, I thought, and then of course we get like the two gods fighting or whatever on the pyramid, and that's kind of neat. But it's whatever. So I don't know. It's final episode's pretty decent. Nothing amazing, nothing mind blowing, but pretty decent episode. And then it ends in a way that I found very weird. So obviously it's the final episode, so there's gonna be a post-credit scene, and it is a post-credit scene, but it's not really teasing anything. At least nothing that I can tell. But whatever. So the post-credit scene takes us to the hospital that apparently was real in the end, even though it was a part of their imagination before. I don't know. Maybe it's a different hospital, but we see, Ethan Hawke's character is in the hospital, and then some guys come in and take him out, and it turns out it's Khonshu and Mark. And then, even though they had that whole thing where it's like, no, don't, where like Layla was like, no, don't kill him, and whatever. And then like Mark was like, no, I'm not going to, Khonshu. If you want to kill him, you kill him. And then he just ends up killing him in the post-credit scene. Or am I missing something? What was with that 180 where it's like, no, I'm not gonna kill him? Fast forward to the post-credit scene. He literally kills him in the car. Like, what? Am I missing something? Or was that the joke? I don't know. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's just kind of weird how like they're like, no, I'm not gonna kill him. Proceeds to kill him in the next 5 minutes. Whatever. So, yeah, episode 6. So yeah, this was a pretty scatterbrained discussion. I apologize. Yeah. So Moon Knight. Again, I don't have that much to say about this character in this series in comparison to the previous series because it's about a character that's new to the series, that's new to the MCU, and a character I didn't know anything about really going in outside of that they existed. So I don't have that much to really say about it other than it's definitely one of the better Disney Plus series. Episode 3 with the time thing was really cool. Episode 5 was just really good in general. And yeah, definitely go watch it. I mean, of course, if you're listening to this, you've already seen it. But if you haven't seen it and for some reason you don't mind getting spoiled, then yeah, I would definitely recommend giving this one a shot. Again, Hawkeye you can skip. Falcon and Winter Soldier even you can skip. But like, this is definitely one you should watch. It's not as crucial as a WandaVision or a Loki, but you should definitely watch it. I think it's definitely worth a watch, at least once. So, yeah, obviously Moon Knight will be coming back in the future. When? We'll see. He's probably not going to show up for a little while, but obviously they wouldn't bring a character to the MCU if they weren't going to show up in the future. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Mark and Steve again, because, again, I think their dynamic is really neat. And, of course, Moon Knight just looks really cool. I mean, his outfit is just objectively really cool. So, yeah, again, not the most in-depth discussion ever, I know, but yeah, that's my thoughts on Moon Knight. One of the better Disney Plus series out there, and while it's definitely not the best, and it's got its flaws, I thought it was pretty decent. I liked it, all things considered. And you should definitely give it a watch at least once. But now that Moon Knight is officially done, that leaves us, of course, with another big, although this one's definitely much bigger, another big, long-anticipated, well, okay, not as long as Moon Knight, maybe, but, like, you know where I'm going with this. Today is May 4th, and there's a little movie coming out in 2 days on May 6th called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and I will be seeing it the day it comes out, so I can assure you that in a couple of days I will have my thoughts on that out, so be on the lookout for my thoughts on Doctor Strange in the coming days. But yeah, so that's about it. So yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What you think about Moon Knight? Did you like it? Did you not really like? Did you not like it? You know, did you think it was okay? Do you like Steven? Do you not like Steven? You know, whatever you guys say about the series, I'm very interested in hearing down in the comments below. And yeah, and stay tuned for my Doctor Strange reaction. I have not been spoiled in anything yet. Really? I won't explain what that is until we do the discussion in a couple days. But for the most part, I have not been spoiled in anything yet, which is good, because this movie is basically all spoilers. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing Doctor Strange in a couple days, and I cannot wait to do my discussion on it. So be on the lookout for that. And I guess with that being said, this is Logan59XP, and I'll see you guys next time.